The Galactic Assembly had never been this silent. Thousands of species, hundreds of star systems, all watched the same horrifying transmission replay on the central holla, burning human colonies, shattered orbital stations, and drifting escape pods, slowly losing power. The Korth Dominion called it containment. To humanity, it was a slaughter. For decades, Earth had been labeled a Class 3 death world, dangerous, sure, but its inhabitants were considered emotionally unstable, politically fractured, and militarily inefficient, useful as labor, acceptable as expendable allies, but never to be taken seriously as a unified threat. That mistake had just cost the galaxy billions of lives. The Korth had attacked without warning. No declaration of war, no demands, just fire. 3 human border systems fell in a single standard week. Civilian habitats were targeted first. Hospitals, refugee ships, even the evacuation corridors were hunted down to reduce future resistance. When the attacks finally paused, the Korth Supreme Admiral issued a message to the Assembly. Earth is to stand down. Further resistance will result in total planetary sterilization. The Korth expected fear. What they got was silence. For 48 hours, Earth said nothing. Human networks went dark. Fleets stopped transmitting. Trade routes collapsed as every human vessel vanished from public sensors. Analysts across the galaxy debated whether humanity had broken, whether their famously chaotic governments had finally torn themselves apart under pressure. Then, on the 3rd day, every screen lit up at once. The signal didn't originate from Earth. It came from everywhere. Every relay, every buoy, every military channel hijacked with terrifying precision. The image stabilized into a single human figure, standing in a dimly lit chamber. No armor, no insignia, just a scarred face, tired eyes, and a voice that carried absolute calm. This is Earth. No titles, no flattery. We have endured your attacks. We have counted our dead. We have retrieved what remains of our children from vacuum and fire. The human leaned forward slightly. This transmission is our final warning. Behind the speaker, the chamber lights brightened and the galaxy saw what Earth had been hiding. Star maps bloomed into view, layered with red markers. Not human territory, Korth territory. Shipyards, energy nexuses, military worlds, hidden supply depots that even the Assembly hadn't known existed. We know where you live, the human continued. We know how you fight, and more importantly, we know what you fear. The Korth delegation erupted in outrage, but their signals were muted. They couldn't interrupt it. You believe us weak because we argue, because we hesitate, because we value life. A pause. You are correct. The human's eyes hardened. But you made the classic mistake of every predator that has ever challenged us. The map shifted. It showed Earth. Not green, not blue. It was solid red. You wounded the pack. Gasps rippled through the Assembly as new data streams forced themselves into the display. Weapon systems never registered before. Fleets emerging from stealth zones thought impossible to hide objects of that mass. Industrial outputs that exceeded entire sectors. Humans hadn't been inefficient. They had been restrained. For centuries, the speaker said, we prepared for threats that never came. Monsters, gods, extinction events. A faint, humorless smile appeared. You turned out to be much smaller than what we planned for. The Korth Supreme Admiral finally forced his way onto the channel, mandibles flaring. You bluff, he hissed. You would doom the galaxy in your rage. The human didn't raise his voice. No, we will end this surgically. The map zoomed in on a single Korth core world, then another, then 10 more. These systems will be neutralized within 1 standard hour. Military assets only. Civilian evacuation corridors will remain open. The human straightened. This is mercy. You did not show us the same. The final words were delivered slowly, clearly, translated perfectly into every known language. Cease attacking humanity immediately, or witness our true wrath. The transmission ended. Exactly 58 minutes later, Korth shipyards began to disappear from sensors, not exploding, not burning, simply gone, folded into nothing by weapons that bent physics itself. The attacks stopped, not because Earth demanded it, but because, for the first time in recorded history, the galaxy understood a simple truth. Humanity was never the loudest species, never the strongest on paper, but when pushed to the edge, they ended wars. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more tales from across the cosmos. Thanks for watching.